Hello and welcome to Only Connect, the quiz for lateral thinkers. I like to think laterally in the garden. For example, the dictionary defines a weed as a useless plant growing where it's not wanted. But actually, something like common knapweed can be an excellent source of nectar. Or what about red valerian, loved by butterflies and the hummingbird moth? Or the much maligned caper spurge, which given enough time can produce foliage full of magnificent flowers. So open your minds, lazy thinkers. With a little bit of love and nurturing, it's amazing what a bunch of weeds can come up with. Let's meet the teams. On my right, Nick Paul, a retail worker who collects Asterix books. Hugh Williams, a retired fuel logistics officer who has played bridge for Northamptonshire and croquet for Bedfordshire. And their captain, Ian Toms, a Dundee United fan whose only time singing karaoke resulted in a complaint by a neighbour. United by a craze for comedy, they are the Cunning Planners. Ian, I remember your team got Emil Zatopek in the missing vowels round. You told me afterwards that you'd recently revised him.
Well, I'd recently said his name in error, trying to say a Mexican civilization, yeah. I was meant to say Zapotec and said Zatopek by mistake, yeah.
This evening you are playing on my left, Michael Joel Bartel, an actor who speaks fluent Swedish, Anne Gavigan, a former film critic from Philadelphia, and their captain, John Robinson, an English teacher who was once carried in a wicker basket by Joe Lycett. United by their passion for the performing arts, they are the Harlequins. There was a horrible question about Shania Twain in your game. What was that question?
Don't impress me much. Yeah, things that didn't impress Shania Twain.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be Elvis, which I think if we don't know, we're just going to guess Elvis.
Yeah.
Very wise. I think that's the answer to most of the questions this evening. This is a winner-winner game. Nobody will get knocked out. Both of these teams won their opening match, so they are doing this in a way for fun. You won the toss, but you've decided to put your opponents in first. So, Harlequins, please choose a hieroglyph.
We'll have the Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
No. Next, please.
Were these conductors or orchestras or something?
The symphony orchestras.
Yeah, maybe, but should we go?
Let's go one more.
Yeah.
Next, please.
Oh, no, museums, Guggenheim's.
Oh, yeah,
but I don't know. But is there a Guggenheim Berlin? There's not.
I don't think
but
so.
Frank Lloyd Wright did one.
I think these are architects of museums in the cities.
Okay.
Should we just go for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great.
So these are architects of museums in those cities?
I'd like to hear something a
Art
bit more
museums
specific.
Art museums?
Contemporary art museums with Peggy Guggenheim involvement?
They are the architects of Guggenheim Museums. You didn't need the last clue, Bilbao.
Yep.
But these are cities where you would find Guggenheim Museums.
Yeah.
Actually, apart from the Berlin one, I think you knew that that one's closed. Peggy Guggenheim, in her lifetime, opened her home so people could go and see her magnificent artworks. And then when she died in 1980, these collections began. I opened my home to the public. I was hoping someone would clean it. Cunning Planners, what would you like?
Horned viper, please.
OK. What is the connection between these picture clues? Here's the first.
Tech and gaming. Is that a sock or something? Next, please. Radio and podcast. Guinea? New Guinea? No, that's what's below it.
Yeah.
Next, please.
Tuvalu with a code or something.
Yep. Yeah, I think that must be right. I think that's worth going for,
Yeah,
don't you?
I think so, yeah.
OK. We think it is the bit at the top is what sort of companies use the domain names from the country that's sort of highlighted.
That is absolutely right. Very well done. You also come in after 3 clues. Can you talk me through why those industries mentioned at the top would use the country codes of the places in the maps?
I don't know any of them.
I'm afraid that's the sum total of my knowledge of the Tuvalu television bit.
So Tuvalu, its domain letters would be TV, so the TV industry uses it. Tech and gaming, that is the British Indian Ocean Territory, so .io, input-output, that's why they would want that. The second picture, that is the Federated States of Micronesia.fm.
Yes.
And let me tell you, that picture has taken more work and time and effort and money to produce than any picture we've ever shown on this show. Gethin, our picture editor, pored over a sort of maritime treaty between Micronesia and Papua New Guinea to try and get the exact placing of the islands. You know, if we get anything wrong here, our lives aren't worth living. So that took forever. And the last one, Los Angeles businesses, that is Laos.la. Well done.
Thank you.
Harlequins, what would you like?
Why don't we go for lion?
Lion, please.
Lion. The melodic roar of the music question. You'll be hearing your clues. What do they have in common? Here's the first.
Soon enough,
Yeah, it is.
the carefree day.
Oh, I think this is Tony Bennett.
Okay.
Sounds like it.
Streets of San Francisco.
Yeah, let's go next.
Yeah. Next, please.
No idea.
Oh, I've heard this.
Is this?
Oh, this is. It was in Lover's Rock. I can't remember the name of it.
Right.
though.
So
Shall I go? I don't know. Next, please.
I can see it in your eyes. You
This is something stupid.
Frank Sinatra, Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah, it was covered by.
Kidman and
Next, please.
had all my love.
all of these have been covered by Robbie Williams.
Let's go for that.
They have not. Cunning Planners, do you want to have a go for a bonus point?
Foolishness.
Foolishness is the connection. You recognise something stupid. That actually was the Robbie Williams version. What else did we hear?
Silly Games by Janet Kay.
Silly Games was the second piece.
Dippy by Right Said Fred.
Deeply Dippy was the last one. And the first, Young and Foolish, from a Tony Bennett album in the 70s.
Tony Bennett, yeah.
Well done, you get the bonus point and your own question. What would you like?
Water, please.
Water. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Do we know who he is? Next, please. No? Don't know either of those. Do we see anything in the names?
They've got Coombe and
Coombe and Hill. Are they similar things? What is a Coombe?
Don't know. But it's certainly a geographical feature.
Yeah, I still think I'd carry on.
I'd carry on for the
Next,
next one, yeah.
please. Julie's iPad.
No, I don't know. No.
Is that now?
Next.
I think we have to. Next,
Yeah.
please. Handforth
Jackie
piece.
Weaver.
Jackie Weaver. So what the hell?
2 seconds.
So it's other names that were in the Zoom call with Jackie Weaver.
That is absolutely right. They are the names that you would see as their handles, you know, on the screen. So David Pinkham and Barry Burkhill, well, that's just, you know, the names that they use with their actual names. Julie's iPad, obviously that's Julie in the meeting.
Yes.
And Handforth PC or Parish Council Clerk, that's the council chairman, you see. And I think the idea was he declared himself clerk as well, so that in itself was controversial.
Yeah.
You've seen that footage. This was this meeting, it went viral on the internet because poor old Jackie Weaver, who's now a rather excellent quizzer, she was trying to keep order and got shouted at. I've got this bit of information for you about the person that leaked that. It was a teenager, Sean Ali, who found the meeting and sort of brought it to the world's attention. And this BBC article says, Sean, who was studying politics as part of his A-levels, says he got quite into watching local council meetings in his spare time. He says, I guess I'm just fascinated by what local authorities do and the role they play up and down the country. And may I say, I'm looking forward to introducing Sean here in a few years' time. He sounds like our kind of guy, doesn't he? Harlequins, what would you like?
2 reads.
2 reads, please.
2 reads it is. What connects these clues? Here's the first.
I mean, that was a song by All the Saints, but...
Yeah, exactly. Should we just see what's
Yeah, next, please. The Daily Bread.
Oh no. This is gonna be
Daily Bread.
Give us this name again.
Is this his website? Is it
Next, please. Coast, the TV series.
Oh, is it? It's an anagram for Costa.
Oh,
these are Au Pain Quotidien.
Oh, these are
Yeah.
English translations.
English
of, like,
translations.
Cafe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
Cafe Nero.
Yeah,
right.
okay, great, yeah.
So these are English translations of popular
High Street.
high street cafes or coffee chains.
Another early buzz nets you 2 points. Very well done. Tell me those names in the languages we'd normally see them, please.
Cafe Nero.
Yep.
Le Pain Quotidien.
Le Pain Quotidien in French.
Costa.
Pret à manger.
Pret à manger. Very well done. One question remains on the board. It's the twisted flax. What do these clues have in common? Here's the first.
Next, please. Sort of guest hosts?
Could be guest host.
That seems a bit obvious for going yet, though, do you reckon?
Yeah, next.
But the Series 100, there was one recently that was
Yeah, I
about...
don't know what series it's on.
Are
Mate.
you tempted to go for it, or you want next?
It's up to you.
Hugh, what do you think?
Something like I've had a lot of guest hosts on it.
but I have no idea
You would...
what the answer is at
next,
all.
please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guest host, yeah, bad luck.
We think these are guest hosts.
Guest hosts is the answer. What would have been the fourth clue?
Have I got news for you?
Have I got news for you? That's absolutely right. Yes, why the News Quiz Series 100?
Because of COVID? I mean, I don't know.
It wasn't because of COVID, it was because Miles Jupp had just stepped down. They've had all these wonderful hosts, and Barry Took, I remember, I'm old enough to remember, and Barry Norman did it before that, and Simon Hoggart and Sandy Toxic. Miles Jupp was a wonderful host, but he stepped down and they tried guest presenters. After that, they've had a single presenter for each series, but that was that one series. And these other ones, you know, they sometimes have guest hosts. Saturday Night Live, the American version, always has guest hosts. They tried bringing in guest hosts here, but nobody wanted to do it. I don't actually have a contract. I'm just on standby every week in case nobody else says yes. Haven't missed a show since 2008. That means at the end of round one, the Harlequins have 4 points, the Cunning Planners have 6. On to round two, the sequences round. What comes forth in a sequence? Harlequins, you'll be choosing first. What's it to be?
We'll go for the Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Supremes. Is this
Baby Love.
Yeah, we've got
Number
the
one.
four, got a number of
I thought,
members.
is that the member of the Supremes? Number of the people.
Right. Oh, maybe it went down because Diana Ross left in that year. Maybe.
Yeah, or
So-
because Cindy Love.
Yeah, we'll go
came-
next, please.
Yeah.
Beach
Beach
Boys.
Boys 3.
I know there's a number of Wilsons who are in that.
Okay.
Maybe there's 3
Yeah,
Wilsons
'cause
in the Beach Boys.
there was
There's a
one-
Mary Wilson.
Mary Wilson and the Supremes, but not others.
Yeah, next, please. Taylor Swift 22. Oh, there's albums they released?
Yes, because she released.
Two
yes,
instruments.
yes,
Someone
yes,
released-
that's it,
yes,
that's it,
yes.
that's it. She did Forever Board, yeah.
So, because anyone who's released an album in a particular year.
Anyone, like, let's just say
So one.
Radiohead, 2000.
That would be an acceptable answer. You are right, it is to do with the number of albums released. And the amazing thing, the Supremes, they actually released 5 albums in 1965, but one of them was a live album, so we're looking for studio albums, but incredibly, 4 studio albums for the Supremes in 1965, the Beach Boys 3 in all of those years. I mean, you think of the quality of the stuff put out by the Supremes and the Beach Boys. Now, people release an album and then they have to have 7 years, you know, to find themselves and recover. Absolutely amazing. So we wanted to hear anybody that released 1 album in any year at all. Cunning Planners, what would you like?
2 reads, please.
2 reads. You will be seeing the first in a series of pictures. Please describe the 4th picture. Your time starts now.
Anybody know who that is?
No idea. Next, please. Oh, goodness. Next, please. That's Tilda Swinton, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I have absolutely
No idea at all.
So, who? Oh,
I don't know
Til.
anyway.
We're going to have to try and come up with some sort of phrase with Tilda in or Swinton in, aren't we?
Yeah,
Who is the fellow in the middle?
I've ever seen something that was set in Greece, but I can't remember it. So
Yeah. Don't Ray Files because of that.
2 seconds.
A picture with the same 3 people as the third one, then Rafe Fiennes as the 4th person.
Not it, I'm afraid. Harlequins, would you like to have a go?
So it's a picture of the 3 of them with Bill Murray in the Cannes Film Festival promoting The French Dispatch.
Very good and comprehensive answer. It is the 3 of them again with Bill Murray, Timothy Chalamet, Wes Anderson and Tilda Swinton. The picture might be familiar to people because it went viral.
Yeah.
It was like that selfie that was taken at the Oscars. There were loads of it because people made jokes about it. Some of the suggestions on social media for what might be represented in that picture. Some people say the foursome represent, in film, pitch, first draft, final draft, comments section. This is my favourite. This is Sarah Wallace Goodman tweeted that she thought these 4 people represented Zoom presentation attire. Remembering how I dressed before Zoom. Imagining how I'll dress after Zoom. how I'll actually dress after Zoom. So you get the bonus point and you can choose your own question.
Can we take Horned Viper, please?
Yes, you can. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
S. Okay.
Okay, definitely another one.
Yeah.
Next, please.
Then east equals. Oh wait, no.
North equals something.
It then east. Is then east on the bottom? With the number of blanks. Anyway,
And then
let's
next,
go.
please.
Then north equals. Are these winds? Are these the 4 winds?
West. Oh, yeah.
And then west equals.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Michael, wanna go?
Then west equals Z blank 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 blank.
And why would that be?
These are names of winds and the letters they start with.
I don't think you could find one to fit all the clues, I'm afraid. Cunning Planners, do you want to have a go?
We've got then west equals V and then enough dashes for Virginia to work.
And why would that be?
We're hoping they're just geographical places.
That's not it.
Nah, didn't really think so.
It is a boat. Oh. If a boat is travelling across the sea and south is to the stern, then east would be starboard, north would be bow, and west would be port. P blank blank blank. So it's to do with port, starboard, bow, if the stern were south.
Nice.
What would you like for your own question?
Lion, please.
Lion. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
One. This isn't the
Presidential assassinations. Lincoln Uprising, Midland.
good thought.
Next.
This could be assassin. Yeah.
Could be presidential.
2. Next, please.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Oh no, it is Jefferson. So the first of Lincoln is L. The 5th of Jefferson is E. I think we need to carry on.
Yeah,
don't
we do,
Next,
yeah.
please. 10th of Roosevelt doesn't exist, does it? No. Oh God, I've got absolutely. Oh, is this to do with the dollars? Does anybody know?
2 seconds.
No, it's not Rushmore.
So it's Washington. What's Washington on?
1.
20 equals Washington. No.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. Harlequins, do you know?
I'll defer to Michael.
25 equals Washington.
25 equals Washington. It is to do with presidents appearing on American currency, but it's the coins.
Ah, right.
The coin. So 1 cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, and the next coin would be a quarter, 25-cent piece that has Washington on it. Well done. So another bonus point for your team. And which question would you like?
Water, please.
Water. Cheers. Mine isn't water. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Eight of these. Yeah. Next, please. Ossicles.
Those are bones. Three in the ear, 6. There's 6 of them total.
Okay, so
so
there's
we've
4
8.
fingers, 6 ossicles.
8 fingers, 6 ossicles,
4, 2.
2 eyes, 2 nostrils, maybe.
Go for that.
I mean, why not?
Okay, great.
We can go next if you want.
Yeah, let's go. 2 equal. The fourth one, eyes.
Eyes is acceptable. What might you see at clue 3?
Limbs?
Limbs. I've got more than 3 limbs.
No. It'd be 8, 6, 4, 2, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Michael is absolutely right. So the maths here,
was.
as I think you know, it's body parts, and we're losing 2 each time. So the reason it's fingers, not thumbs, is because we're looking for the number 8. 8 fingers, 6 ossicles, 4 we went with chambers of the heart, and 2 we had kidneys. You could have had eyes, nostrils. I'll leave it there. Cunning Planners, 1 question remains, the twisted flax. Can you untwist it? First clue coming up now.
No idea what that is. Nanga. Do we know what's happening?
No, next.
Next, please. Deeded.
Well, the first one's got 4 G's, 3 D's, 3 E's.
I think we have to carry on.
Yeah, we do,
Next,
yeah.
please.
Yeah, it's got 3 of each, yeah, okay.
Vivian.
So this has got 2 of every letter, so we want a word that's got 1 of each letter.
All right, so...
Maybe just the letter, maybe just the word me. 1.
yeah. Me
Sorry, no,
once,
what?
yeah.
What? A.
A.
Yes, I mean, A would do, me would do. I mean, you always got less ambitious. We went with uncopyrightable.
Oh, yeah, OK. Very nice.
But any word that uses its letters one time, because that first one, it's a Fijian spirit, and the name just contains the letters N, A and G repeated 4 times, then D did it 3 times, 2 appearances of each letter in Vivian, so anything with just 1 appearance of the letter. Well done. That means at the end of round 2, the Harlequins have 11 points, the Cunning Planners have 8. Connecting wall time, and Cunning Planners, you've effectively chosen to go first here because you chose to go second before. Let's see how pleased you are with that choice. Would you like lion or water?
Lion, please.
Lion. 2.5 minutes to solve this wall, starting now.
Right.
Doctor Who, Skaro, Gallifrey, Sontar.
Sontar and?
New Earth, possibly?
No.
Synonyms for serious, solemn, stern.
Somber.
Yeah.
Where's Solemn?
Just above.
Solemn. Right.
Papal bill, dollar bill,
Yeah.
red bill.
Midnight Bill is a thing.
Yeah.
Can we persist with... have you got any further thought on the...
I've got Skaro.
Doctor Who.
Sontar.
Just go back.
No, that was the one we did first. OK, let's do the bills. And it's wrong, so it's not. Missouri Bill, maybe?
Sontar was in Doctor Who, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got 3 of them.
That's... Yeah, I don't think those can go in anything else, can they? There's 3.
Hey, John.
I've made a big zero of this.
Is New Earth connected with Doctor Who?
Yeah, I said that we've got...
Yeah, we've done that,
That's when we did.
Lasso,
Dollar's a
Ted
pop.
Lasso.
Any pop bands apart from Dollar on there?
Not that I can see.
No.
Vigil is Virgil with a letter missing. Are there any other poets with 1 letter missing? Or people in... This has gone well.
Try Gallifrey and the Doctor Who ones. Gallifrey, Skaro,
10 seconds.
Sontar. Red.
That's it. You've hit the deadline.
Oh dear.
What a nasty wall, but you found one group. Well done. What connects stern, serious and so on?
They are solemn, basically.
They are all solemn, exactly so. And you can get points for the connections in the groups you didn't find. So let's resolve the wall. There we are. Red, vigil, solemn, papal.
Mass, red mass, vigil
Yeah,
mass.
masses.
They are masses. I was about to say, not a Catholic among you. You don't recognise these are all masses. Well done. And the next group, Midnight, Skaro, and so on.
We think these are locations in Doctor Who.
They are planets in Doctor Who. And the last group, Gallifrey, Lasso, and so on.
Bills, are they bills?
I think we'll try Bills.
Not it.
Teds?
You see people at home asking themselves, what is Gallifrey if it's not a Doctor Who planet? Must be a word one. Lurking at the beginning, females. Gal, lass, doll, miss. Slang or otherwise terms for females at the beginning there. But you found one group and you gave me 3 connections. That's a total of 4 points. Let's bring in their opponents, see how they get on. It will be the water wall for you. 2.5 minutes to solve it, starting now.
Okay. Oh, so Ferengi, Klingon,
Yeah, these are
Vulcan,
Star Trek.
and yeah.
Who else is...
Okay.
Romulan.
Trill.
Romulan
Okay.
isn't there.
Romulan, Ferengi, Klingon. Okay, and then we have Chirp, Twill, Twitter.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Warble.
Twitter, Chirp,
Warble
what else?
and Call.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Tangerine Dream.
Tangerine Dream.
Waking Dream.
Yellow Fever.
There's a can in there.
Yeah.
There's a
There's a
There's
can.
a Lou
There's a
in there.
Oh,
There's a
can.
John.
Can, Lou, John,
Yeah.
and
And
let's wait.
Lav will be Yugoslav.
yeah, Lav for
So then
Yugoslav.
Fever.
And then everything else is dreams.
Dreams,
Fever
yeah.
Dream.
Yeah.
Tangerine Dream,
Yep.
Waking Dream, Pipe
Yep.
Dream. You happy
Yep.
with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Magnificent. You've solved the wall. Very well done. But what about the connections? Tell me about the first group, please. Ferengi and so on.
These are all Star Trek alien races.
They are aliens in Star Trek. Can you tell me anything about those creatures?
Quark was a Ferengi in Deep Space Nine.
Romulan. Oh.
Okay, so anyway, the Romulans,
I've
have the
got this.
cloaking technology. The Trills are featured. I believe that Dax was a Trill,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah,
Klingons.
Trill is humanoid, very human in appearance.
Yeah.
We've got some of those here. What about the next group? Chirp, twitter, and so on?
These are all synonyms for like bird
Bird
calls.
sounds.
songs, yeah.
Exactly so. And would you just say warble for me?
Warble.
I mean, it's lovely. It's lovely. And the next group, Vulcan, Waterloo, and so on?
The end of these words are all slangs for the lavatory.
I can only apologise. And the last group, Fever, Tangerine, and so on?
Dreams.
They are all dreams, so you know the connections. You get the bonus. It is a maximum of 10 points. Very well done. Let's see how that affects the scores as we go into the final round. The Harlequins have 21 points. The Cunning Planners have 12. So a little bit behind after that nightmare wall, but plenty of points available in round 4, and they can also be lost, of course. Fingers on buzzers teams, I can tell you that the first group of missing vowel clues are all blended capital cities. Cunning Planners,
Paris, Islamabad.
well done. Planners,
Helsinki, Kinshasa.
well done. Harlequins,
Belma, Panama City.
correct. Planners,
Ottawa, Washington, D.C.
congratulations everybody. Next group, animals native to India. Harlequins,
Bengal tiger.
yes it is. Planners,
Asian elephant.
yep. Planners, no, too long I'm afraid. Harlequins, do you know?
Long-tailed macaque.
No, you'd need a G. It's lion-tailed macaque. Next clue. Harlequins,
Himalayan wolf.
correct. Next category, paintings by Piet Mondrian. Harlequins,
Composition with red, blue, and yellow.
correct. Harlequins,
It's composition with red, yellow, and blue.
yes. Planners,
Composition with yellow, blue, and red.
well done. Harlequins,
Broadway boogie woogie.
I'm guessing he's in the New York Guggenheim. And that is the end of the quiz. Looking at the final scores. The winners and through to the next round with a magnificent 27 points are the Harlequins. Very well done to you. Cunning Planners, you've got 16 points, but you're not out. You will have another go later in the competition. And coming up next on BBC Two, in a change to the published schedule, we've got an educational film about the challenges of filling in the self-assessment tax return. It's presented by someone who should know. He's a former cabinet minister. Step by step, he'll take us through each of the 1,000 questions and explain how to respond. That's Michael Portillo ticking all the right boxes. Next on BBC Two.